Oh, guys. Mike came by. A friend of mine, Mike, came by a while ago. Man, he looked like he was ready to rip the throat out of a grizzly bear. I swear, guys. I said, what are you so happy about? He says, well, I was just over at Jimmy's, and Jimmy told me that you said that my wife had a lump on her right breast. I said, what? I never said no such thing. I told Jimmy it felt like she had a lump on her right breast. God, people are getting so sensitive today, you know, just too darn sensitive. I don't know. I just don't understand it today, the way people think. I think it's the left. The left has got everybody so wokey, it's a jokey. All right, now, let me show you something here. I got two little bee tricks here, new bee tricks from Steve-O that I want to share with you. You may like it, you may not, I don't care. But here it is anyway. All right, the first little trick I've got here, these doggone bait container thing, these bait I put in my Beetle barns. Works good. This stuff works good. This roach gel thing, right? But the cap on it keeps falling off. Or you got to take the cap off to inject it, right? And then you set it down, and then you bump something, it rolls off into the weeds, and you never find it again. You have to keep it covered up. So here's my little dealie here, my little fix-em deal on that. You'll see what I did here. I drilled an 1/8 inch hole through that right there. And I took some, this is that tarred, I buy this by the roll. I use it around here for everything. Wrapping axe handles, hammer handles, catfish lines. I use it sometime on my hog snare line, all kind of stuff. But what I did here, I had to have a mold. I had to JB weld. I said, I'm going to JB weld a string onto this cap. And if you look close here, there's little marks here on this thing. Well, that runs the whole, that's that cap, right? So what I did, I said, well, I got to have a mold. I got to mold this thing on here. I've got to have to take some JB weld. See what I did? I took some wax paper, and I squirted some out, and I mixed it with a toothpick. I mixed it up with a toothpick. JB weld. It's a 2-part weld. You can get it anywhere. Lowe's, wherever. So what I see, you see these 3 holes. Well, these 2 outside holes, I screwed up on. I got them, one here too deep. This one got too deep. Then I did another one, careful like, and bada bing, it was perfect. Okay, it was perfect. So what I did, I put a piece of wax paper down. Okay, you got to have some kind of a release, mold release. You just can't stick the JB weld in a hole, because this thing's going to be permanently stuck in there. You got to be able to retrieve it, right? So here's my release agent right here, piece of wax paper, very simple. And what you do is you just keep drilling the hole carefully and leave the cap on your syringe and test it. So the top of that cap is out of the hole, all right? Then you're going to take, now once you got that done, you stick your wax paper over here. You take the end, you take this, what I did was took this number 30, it's number 30 tarred nylon. I laid that piece on the end of my anvil, right on the anvil, and I smacked it with a hammer a few times and got it flattened out so it was real soft. Then I took my JB weld and started filling up that hole about a 1/3 of a way is all, not much. Then I took my string, laid it over that hole, and then I took my cap here with the strings in the hole, took my cap and I shoved it down in there. As you shove this thing in here, the JB weld is going to ooze out. So So what you do is you take your toothpick here, if I can do this one-handed, take your toothpick here and clean off the extra coming out. In other words, you don't want the JB weld getting up higher than this. You don't want it coming over this lip here. Otherwise, it's going to be welded to it. So that's it. And the beauty part about this is, you're out there wandering around the field, right? You're out there wandering around the field, so you've got this hanger right here, see? Well, what do you do with that? Your cell phone's hanging on your hip, right? Bada bing. There it is. Hanging right there. So you can walk around in the field with this thing. Service your traps. These traps, by the way, guys. These traps, by the way, pull them in and pull them out of there every month. Throw them in a bucket. They're going to be plugged up. All these holes, all 4 of these holes are going to be plugged up with propolis. They're out of commission, okay? So pull them out. I would suggest how many hives you got. Buy twice that many of these, all right? That way you've got some in the freezer and you got some installed, and then when you get the month is coming around, get them out of the freezer, clean them. I just take a piece of Kleenex, that's all I use. I have a whole box of Kleenex sitting here. I open these up with my pocket knife, pop them open, and all these holes are propolised up, right? They just snap right out with your fingers. But this ooey gooey poison you got in here, wear rubber gloves and those light throwaway gloves, and take one Kleenex and wipe out that bait chamber, all right? Then leave the clam open, throw it in a bucket. When you're in the field, have 2 buckets. One of the plugged up ones you're pulling out, throw in there, and a whole bunch of these already opened. Don't close them up, because then you got to spend time cranking them back open. Leave them open, clam in the bucket. Grab them, grab your syringe now off your hip. Easy to go Steve-O. Easy to go Steve-O trick. Pop the cap off. It's just hanging down like this, right? Inject your, put it back on. You can leave that open. Put your cap back on. Drop it back over your cell phone. Snap it shut. Put her in the hive. How about that one, guys? For easy peasy Steve-O, yeah, hive traps, beetle traps. All right, here's pain in the butt. Here's pain in the butt that I've been dealing with too for some time, and I got to thinking about it. Let's make life easy, guys. Let's make life easy. So here's how I'm gonna make life easy. When we're doing our alcohol washes, you're gonna be shaking a frame of bees in here. Make darn sure that queen ain't on that frame when you shake them bees off in there, right? Get you a quart jar with a metal lid on it. Right? Shake your bees in here, bump her down. Now you got all these bees in here, scoop them up. This is a quarter. Put two quarters in there, that gives you a half, right? Take your jar lid. Now you got all these bees in there. I'd put the alcohol about to here. Now you can shake the living bejesus out of this thing. Shake all these mites out, right? It's not gonna leak. This thing leaks. It's a pain, but we want to use it. Shake them up. Now take it and pour all of it in here. All right. But you get them in there. Take your little basket here that's inside. Just go up and down a little bit. Don't swirl it around. Pull that out. Let her drain. Maybe bump it a little bit. Right? Now you've got nothing but alcohol and varroa mites, and hopefully no varroa mites. Now you can look her over. See? You can look it over. We've taken the mess out of this thing, this leaky mess. With this and this, you're not going to get the leakage, okay? There's the Steve-O fix right there. Now, once you've done that and you've checked your mites, we want to save this. We want to save it. What are you going to do? How are you going to save it? You're going to take your alcohol bottle and your funnel, clean bottle. Oops, there's still some in there. You're going to take your fine mesh strainer. You can find these. They're in the stores. Home improvement, kitchen supply places have these. Put this inside. Take all of your little floaty varroa mites in there and pour it on in. That's it. Then you can look at your little mites here. You can take, when you're done, tap it on the counter and they will fall out, okay? So there's 2 Steve-O tricks for the day. Quick video. And, hey, Mike, I'm sorry, okay? It is what it is, Mike. Hey, guys, be happy, be strong. We got to keep getting her on. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.